drinking alcohol things on the other side of the cell wall.
Another guise in which Christ wanders the world in is that he is a victorious King of Kings, a theme that inspires some of the later Christmas traditions, out of which has its roots in the militant Christ traditions. Lighted in homes and churches at Christmas time. He assigned to the wandering Christ child that he would be welcome there. Another says that they are to light his way. 16th century Germany, Christmas gifts for children were tied up in bundles, supposedly brought by derived. As time went by, the old tradition of das Christkind became so distorted that different versions eventually began to become popular. For sometimes the divine infant was presented as an angel, a good fairy. Even a girl in white hollies about her hair, some cases with red berries. She has blonde hair. The custom of giving charity and gifts to the poor during Christmas seasons originated with following belief. Christ child sometimes came to the door in the guise of a poor beggar. Elias Trott presents an old legend that illustrates this belief. It tells how the Christ child would annually make his worldwide treks during Christmas Eves. He wanders all over the world, heading toward castles, and then from there to hovels. His trek takes him up hills and down valleys in search of those who have been good and deserving. He uses a number of different guises during his trek too, such as that of a poor beggar in need. At the various homes he enters, usually appearing as a beggar or a humble wanderer. The aid one might render to beggars was, and still is, looked upon as hospitality shown to Christ. From France comes another custom which spread to many other countries. Children would prepare a soft bed in the manger for the wandering Christ child. They did this by placing straw as tokens of prayers and good works done. If they had done a lot of good deeds, there would be a lot of straw for the Christ child to keep him warm and to soften the hardness. In Poland, a few straws are scattered under the table for the Holy Child. German children believe that the Holy Infant travels on the back of a pure white donkey, and so they often leave a small bundle of straw for the animals to eat. The straw was always gone on Christmas morning. In some areas of Christendom, the tradition concerning St. Nicholas as a gift giver continued to thrive in later traditions. However, in Protestant Germany, this Catholic saint dated somewhat after the Reformation, whereas the wandering Christ child traditions flourished as they gained more acceptance. The Christ child's time of visitation became Christmas Eve. Other guises that Christ wanders the world in. The saint of travelers, Ofuro, was later called Saint Christopher, meaning the bearer of Christ. According to traditions, he carried the wandering Christ child across the river. Some artworks show the Christ child on the back of Saint Christopher, and some of these date back between AD 470 through 1498. Saint Martin, according to a number of artworks, is tested by Christ in the guise of a beggar. Thus, in some works, he is seen giving a coat to Christ. St. Augustine washes the feet of Christ who appears in the guise of a pilgrim. St. Pantaleon is visited by Christ in the guise of a Christian hermit. Holy Grail lore, Christ in the guise of a leper. AD 1848, James Russell Noel, who lived about 1816 through 1891, wrote in The Vision of Sir Longfall about a brave young knight named Sir Longfall. The knight goes on a quest in search of the Holy Grail, or the cup which Christ supposedly drank from during the Last Supper. Longfall is young, handsome, strong, and is clothed in bright and shiny armor, and is mounted on a gallant white charger when he left. While crossing the drawbridge to go out into the world, he sees a beggar leopard extending his hand to him, begging for alms. The young knight reaches into his pouch, took out a gold coin and threw it to him as he rode on by. After he spent his life on this quest, in which he didn't find the Grail, he came back over the same old drawbridge. However, this time he was a lot older and a lot wiser. Once again, a leopard put out his hand begging for alms. This time he stopped, gets down off his horse, and reaches into his knapsack to give the only thing he had left, a crust of bread. Taking out a wooden cup, he dips it in the stream to give the beggar leper a cool drink of water, too. To his surprise, the wooden cup suddenly turns into the Holy Grail, and the beggar turns into a Christ. Stories about the wandering Christ. Christ, as the man of sorrows, displays his wounds. One of the important themes in our study of Christ as the worldwide wounded wanderer is this: the numerous artworks and writings about how Christ sometimes appears. During his worldwide trek as the man of sorrows, displaying his wounds. These traditions seem to have their roots in Isaiah's prophecy. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Isaiah 53:3. This certainly is one of the basic elements behind later legends about the wandering Christ and the later Christmas wandering Christ child legends. For as he travels the world going from door to door, traditions and stories say how he is either welcomed in or despised, as some esteem him not. Isaiah 53:3.